Okay, so today is a new day. And I listened again to the recording from yesterday. And I know I just talked about this. I just talked about the central nervous system and feeling safe and feeling all these terms that I was learning, right? Well, inside, I could tell. You can kind of get a feeling when things are brewing, when looking back, what used to kind of throw me off, or especially if I sensed any kind of urgency, any kind of got to do it quick, my stomach would go in knots. Last night, as I was re-listening, I thought, you know what? I'm expanding with every different location I was in, with every circumstance that would show up, with different situations. I could feel like my fuse is growing. Like I'm not buying into that hurry, hurry, hurry as much. This was last night, right? The nights are really big for me. Like I can feel things come to my mind. And then by the time I come on here with all y'all, there's something else to report. I'm sensing that. Anyway, so today, get up. My usual, you have a morning routine, right? So I got up this morning and I'm like, one thing after another, one missed call, a message. Things didn't fall into place. And I don't have to go into all the detail of all the things that go wrong. That's like life in the big city, right? But this was almost like rapid fire, almost like machine gun. Bam, 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 bam. I couldn't even catch a breath between the next screw up. It's like, I can't make this stuff up. This is beyond. There is more to this. And I started chuckling in myself. I thought, okay, so it's going to end up how it is. And I don't have all the answers. And I certainly am not in charge of time for everyone. I am learning how to stretch time for myself and how to collapse time. That's another topic for another day. Anyway, it just felt fun. It just felt after the fact, not in the moment. In the moment, it was like, okay. So, and I remembered that in one of my conversations with God, I was saying, I want my capacity to grow because I'm a bridge between where I've been and where I want to be, helping other people get from where they are now to where they want to be. And especially in light of projects that I've had in mind, projects that I've put in place, I'm in that bridge timing. I'm between here and there, right? Well, I want my capacity to grow as a bridge. And that all came back to me this morning as things were just falling apart, just boom, 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 boom. and I just chuckled and I thought, my capacity is growing. I didn't respond in the same way that I may have, right? Anyway, I had to start off this recording with that fun story. Now it's fun after the fact. Okay, so another thing happened last night, and these are unusual times for me. This is not like when I've been in facilities, I haven't, by the time I was ready to go to sleep at night, I was ready to go to sleep and I slept hard. I slept maybe intermittent, depending if I had a roommate and what kind of situation they were in. Like there was a lot of unknowns. But my sleep was never permanently impacted. Like I never went really, really, really long without good sleep. So recently I've had this feeling inside like I just want to decompress. I just want to lighten up. I used to watch What About Bob? That movie. I used to watch that like on repeat just to be able to laugh. That and the movie, the really old ones, with Dudley Moore Arthur, that was one I would play all the time when I just wanted a really good belly laugh. Like I would lose it with that movie. It was so funny. Anyway, I hadn't felt that for a long time. And so the last few nights I have done that. I've rented, I've gone on YouTube or I've got whatever, and I've found movies that just jump out at me. And different reasons, I haven't necessarily wanted to laugh, but I wanted to get my mind off maybe life as it seems right now, right? So there were movies that in the past I was slow to get the punch. I was slow to, if nobody was with me when I was watching it, sometimes I wouldn't understand. So it was interesting last night. I thought, you know what? I'm going to revisit Lord of the Rings. And these are old, and most people in my world, most people got them. Like they got the point, they got what they were supposed to learn from it, the purpose, right? And that was not my experience. So last night I watched more intently. I watched more, and I got to tell you, especially after yesterday's video with all y'all, and my projects were front and center on my mind again. Like the free fall and taking the leap and having others join me on their free fall, right? And that things are not, I can't base my feelings based on how things look right this minute, which that's not a new concept to me. Anyway, while I'm watching Lord of the Rings, I had the strongest sense because of the ring, right? The ring was attracting people to it. It wanted to be found, right? So these concepts spurred on. It was like a trigger event. It was causing me to think down a certain line of thought that maybe I wouldn't have normally. And I thought, because I don't know where any of this is going to come from. I don't know. Number one, I don't know where the funding will come from for any of the projects. Specifically, I thought I used to know, and obviously not. Um, and so, based on this movie, the ring is finding it's drawing people to it, right? And I had the thought, what if I not just talk to God, but talk to where the first location will be for whichever project wants to go first. So in other words, I spoke to the projects and I said, make it clear. You draw the funds to you. You draw the location to you. Right. And I flashed back. I had my own little movie time in my thoughts because when I was first learning about energy healing and I was in my early training of Reiki, and later I progressed and I ended up with my master's in Reiki. So that master level, in the beginning, it was very, very foreign to speak to energy, to move energy in a room, to feel energy move in a body. right? And these are thoughts I hadn't thought of in so long. And so I did last night. It was like, I can do I can do this. That's right. I was trained how to do this. And it's so funny because where I've worn so many hats over the years, I forget what I did with what, right? So it's just fun. Now, today's creation, I'm watching to see how things respond to promptings that I feel inside that I take. Okay, so I'm mentioning it here for all y'all because as it's just like watching my list of 111 things, my list of 25 lessons learned and blessings that came from the hard lessons that I went through in 2025. I'm watching so I can check off as things happen, as things that I'm creating in my desires, creating and making lists. I'm making fun with it. I'm having fun. It's not for all the bananas. It's not this tight, hard, heavy, right? So I'm playing with it. And you guys get to play with me. You get to watch. Anyway, I think that's the bulk of what I want to share today. Anyway, it's fun to be able to recap with all y'all. And I will be back tomorrow and we'll do more. Okay. Love you all. Bye.